What's up, guys, and welcome to the weekly show where we talk about everything to accomplish nothing. There's a good bit to talk about today, so let's just fucking get it started. Cody, how you been, bud?
Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. That's good to hear.
You didn't even tell people that we're the Juicebox heroes, dude. How they gonna know what podcast they're on?
If they're here, they know.
They don't even know, man.
If they're here, they know.
Only Red fucking knows, man.
Only Red knows.
Only Red knows, man.
The amount of Pineapple Express references we put in, I hope our listeners have watched that movie.
That'd be funny if they didn't. I mean, they'd be like, what the fuck is this?
You pretty much watched it by now.
Yeah, watched the whole movie. Just go back through our videos. We've done every reference possible. So let's talk about some stuff, man. Got some gaming stuff to talk about.
My favorite thing to talk about.
Got a tiny smidgen of music to talk about, and other than that, that's it. We're gonna get into it.
It's gonna be fucking rambling.
Let's get the fuck into it. So, an article came out on N4G that I took a look at. I was excited about, take a look at this to find out that it was actually real. So, Breath of the Wild has a 1-to-1 attach rate to the Switch. So basically, what that means for everybody that doesn't really understand what that means. So basically, for every Switch console that's out there, that owner also has Breath of the Wild. So basically, everybody that bought the Switch bought Breath of the Wild is essentially what this is. And that's not 100% true, because basically the way that they got that number was everybody buying up the special editions and the pre-order editions and all that stuff. So some people got 2 copies because they got their regular copy, they got the special edition if they saw it later, or some people that just bought them to sell them online again. But either way, to see a 1-to-1 attach rate is pretty freaking cool, because you never see something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's all due to their marketing, right? Like they held back Breath of the Wild so they can release it with the Switch. So I think it was a good move on their part, and you can see why they did it. Because either way, the Switch is helping Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is helping the Switch. So they're supporting each other, and you can see that with these numbers. I mean, honestly, if you're gonna buy a Switch, you're gonna want to buy that game, right? I mean, it's obvious.
It's the killer app right now. It's the one. If there's no other reason to have the Switch, it's Breath of the Wild. I think that's what drew people into it. If you're in GameStop and you're looking like, I want to play Breath of the Wild, and you see a Wii U and you see a Switch, just go with the Switch, man. I don't care if it's $100 cheaper to go with the Wii U. Just go with the Switch, man. I tell you, you won't regret it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, it's maybe money's more tight for some people, but if you're going in there with the idea of buying a console, an extra $100 for a brand new console, it's probably most people are gonna be like, yeah, that's the better deal.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Breath of the Wild is it came out that it is the fastest selling Nintendo title of all time, and it's also the fastest Zelda selling title of all time. I mean, we're talking this sold faster and more copies in a short amount of time than like Super Mario 64, which I think held the record before of the fastest selling Nintendo game of all time. This sold more than Skyward Sword, which was like this crazy big hyped Zelda game that everybody wanted. It sold more than that. It sold more than every game, like any big Nintendo game you can think of that you love. Okay, Breath of the Wild outsold it easily. Yeah. And that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they were so smart. Nintendo, they make a lot of marketing mistakes that I don't really understand, and a lot of decisions as far as product lines go that I don't understand. But I think this is probably the biggest decision they've made in a long time that paid off in my mind, because if they would have released Breath of the Wild on the Wii U last year, because this game's had to have been ready for, I don't know, 6 months before they released it, easily 6 months. Probably, I would push that it's been done for a year.
Yeah.
If they would have released it on the Wii U and then the Switch came out a year afterwards, nobody would have, I don't think they would have sold nearly as many Switch consoles. I don't think they would have sold nearly as many copies on the Switch of people that actually bought the Switch themselves.
Yeah, because they probably would have played it.
Yeah, so it's insane. It's insane. This whole Switch thing it's so crazy that that a console like this that's changed the game this much has actually stuck this much, because usually Nintendo does these they make these different decisions, as far as like outlandish consoles and stuff like that, and then it kind of sticks for a little while. Like the Wii U stuck on for a tiny bit, and then it faded away because everybody was like, okay, this is gimmicky as fuck, let's get away from it, we're not going to do this anymore. But the Switch is here to stay, and I can say that wholeheartedly. um, I was talking about those missteps that I think Nintendo makes, and I want to talk about one that actually kind of pisses me off a little bit. Actually, pisses me off a lot because I wanted one so bad. So let me go ahead and say, Nintendo has decided that they're going to end North American production of the NES Classic Edition. This is confirmed. It's not a rumor. It's 100% confirmed. And I'm pissed off about it, man.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed off.
I mean, I don't know. Like we were talking earlier before we started recording, and I guess we can see why they would do it. It's because they don't want to draw attention away from the Switch because it's doing so well. But at the same time, I mean, maybe they didn't expect it to be such a big hit as it was. I mean, or if they did, maybe it was just supposed to be something that was short-lived and in demand for a short period of time. But I mean, remember, I only know the only person I know that's like relatively like close to me that I know personally was my dad. My dad randomly got one. He got one at a fucking Best Buy, but I didn't. I didn't go wait in line to get one. I should have done, and you didn't. You were trying to wait until they got. You thought for sure
Yeah.
they were going to be
I
more out and
thought,
be a lot cheaper.
I thought that something that's this popular, Nintendo would have had. It would have been a no-brainer to make a giant stock of these and send them out, and they would have sold off shelves. Um, but yeah, they decided they were going to short the market. And I think they did it on purpose, and they ended the production purposefully. I think what they needed was a little jolt in popularity of Nintendo. Something to get Nintendo's name back in people's mouths and in their head before the Switch came out. That way, to ensure that the Switch sold as well as they wanted it to, or better than they wanted it to.
You know what I think they might do is like come around next Christmas time, they might come up with a new version of it with more
Okay.
games.
The Super
And,
Nintendo Classic Edition.
yeah, or something like that, or just and just have something like that for seasonal, just for seasonal, and like they'll make it like in demand and short production, just like that. I mean, that might be smart to do. I mean, it's a shitty thing to do because I mean you're alienating people that want to get it, and it's just money sitting there if you would make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean this classic edition printed Nintendo money because they already have all of the license. It's all first party titles, from what I remember, anyways. So they already own the licenses. The only thing they have to do is spend out the $20, probably less than that, to make the console and shoot it out the door. Um, there was no way, man. They had to be printing money with these things. They probably made so much money, just to pad them a little bit more. But I definitely think it was a marketing plan that worked in their favor for the company, but not really for the fans of the product that wanted to get their hands on it but couldn't, because we had people standing in line buying 3 of these fucking things and then selling them online for $450, the day after they release, and they're sold out everywhere. Um, this is the thing that Nintendo doesn't seem to realize, is that in this age of internet that we live in, there's always people looking to scam and scalp the next $100 that they can. So they had the same thing with Amiibos when the Amiibo released. They knew that the popularity was going to be hella high, and they purposefully did not print enough. They printed enough for the pre-orders and a few more for the stores. It doesn't make any sense because Amiibos probably cost them 50 cents to $1 to make. So you can't tell me that they couldn't make this many. They didn't want to overestimate how popular they're going to be, because anything from Nintendo could sell a fossilized piece of shit, and they could make money on it, and people are going to run out and buy it. They're like, oh, fucking Nintendo shit, yes. They're going to do that. That's just the way it is. And there's always going to be that person online that's going to go out there and try and profit, get easy money off of somebody that just wants to enjoy the product and wants to play the games. And honestly, it really gets my blood boiling that Nintendo would do something like this. And I don't think it's the end of the classic edition in quotation marks. I think we'll probably see more of these things in the future. Um, because they realized with this one, it's super simple to put this thing out there and people go crazy over it. Um, because I think there's only been probably 3 shipments since they initially released the system, because they released it, it sold out, and then what was it? 2 weeks later, I think they released another shipment. So every store got like another 2 or 3 systems or some crazy crap like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't think it's the end of it either. Honestly, I think they're gonna discontinue it for now. But like I said, I guarantee you, around like Christmas time, they'll start putting them out again, putting them in stores again, trying to make some extra money off of them. Which I mean, they could easily make money. They could keep doing it right now. But I mean, the question is, I'm sure they're doing it because they don't want to draw attention away from the Switch, right?
Yeah.
But the question is, how much attention would it really take away from the Switch? Because I mean you're looking at like two different markets here. Because most of the people, I know plenty of young people that wanted the NES Classic too, also. But most of them are older people that want to relive the games, right?
Right.
And those people, most likely, most of them, I mean, they're still a lot of older gamers, but most of them aren't going to be buying a Switch new. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know, like public relations wise, you don't want two big things going at the same time, so that's probably why they did it. But really, I mean, there's two different markets. I mean, there's going to be some blending together of the two markets, but really, it's two different markets. So I think they're just worried. They just want everything to be all about the Switch, all about the Switch, which I guess would make sense. But you got to wonder how much damage it would really take off the Switch to also sell that classic right now.
I don't think it would make a difference, honestly. I think naturally the amount of Switches sold is going to be lower because it's more expensive. But I don't think people are looking at the two products and they're like, okay, do I want the Switch or do I want the Classic Edition?
Yeah, they're way too different.
Normal, for me, if I was standing there and I saw the Switch that I wanted to get anyways, but I saw the NES Classic Edition for $60, I'm like, I'm just going to get both.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to buy both of them. $60 is nothing. And it's crazy. I definitely don't think this is the end of that line. Maybe the end of the NES version, but I could see a Super Nintendo version. I could see a freaking Nintendo 64 version.
That would sell like crazy.
Yeah, if they did an N64 version, it would destroy everything.
I would get one.
Like the whole world would implode.
I'd get one of those.
And if they didn't make 10 million of those bad boys on launch day, then they would be idiots to not do so.
I'd stand in line for a goddamn week to get one of those.
Yeah. So I don't think this is the end of the classic edition in quotation marks line from Nintendo. I think we're going to probably see a lot more of these in the coming years. I don't know if I want to say that we're going to get more NES Classic editions towards the Christmas holiday season, but at the same time, they're probably going to be pushing the Switch super hard then. So I think we'll see these classic editions pop up in the kind of console lull months. The months like, basically from like February to June. In those kind of time periods when no real AAA games are coming out, nothing big's releasing, and they're not selling many consoles, they're not selling many IPs, and they need some cash coming in quick. They're going to be like, oh, look, another classic edition. How's that for you guys? So that's probably what's going to happen. But on the note of the NES Classic Edition, I read online this morning that there has been another progression in the hacking side of things for the Classic Edition. Somebody's figured out a way to get Retroarch on that thing, which is insane. Retroarch is kind of like a front end emulator service. So it's on Android. I think it's on basically any Android thing you can get. It's on PC too, I'm pretty sure. But what it is it's a front end, which is it's a landing hub, and you install emulators, and they're all kept within this this one front end. So you can launch any emulator from the RetroArch app, and put the ROM on wherever you need to get it, and then play the game. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy to get going. It's just as easy as putting the ROM on the memory and loading it up. So it's weird because I don't know how easy it's going to be to get the app onto the NES Mini. I don't know anything about the hacking or the modding of the system, but there's no way to connect it to the internet. I think what they've done, as far as I know, for the modding, they essentially turn your NES Classic Edition into a storage device. So it's kind of like having, I think it's not even a gigabyte of memory on there. It's like 500 and some megabytes of memory.
Yeah.
So there's not much. There's not much space there. The fact that they're able to get this on there, I don't know how many games you would be able to hold, like an N64 game. I don't know how many N64 games you'd be able to hold on, less than a gigabyte of memory. I know for the whole NES library, it's less than a gigabyte. But when you're thinking about how much more advanced an N64 game is than an NES game, you might only be able to hold 2 or 3 games on here. But it's still insane that you're able to do that.
Yeah, but I mean that also brings up like, okay, if they were to have an emulator of that caliber, like a 64, like Nintendo 64
Why
emulator.
would you waste it on a classic edition? That
Well,
we're going
well,
for?
I mean that too, but what I was thinking of, like, how are you going to control it? Because
Right.
think of the controller.
Yeah.
So they also would have to be modded a way to connect a different controller to it. And I
Yeah.
mean, and they probably, and back to the memory thing, they probably found a way to add more memory to it to put all this effort into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, they would have to, honestly. They would have to figure out a way, soldering, something on to connect an external or something. That's the only thing that I can think of.
And
I think it has a USB port, if I'm not mistaken. It might not, though. Don't hold me to that. I don't know if it does or not.
well, see, here's the thing too. Is like, okay, so these are pretty rare, right?
Right.
And you like, you try really hard and you finally get one, okay? And then are you going to risk sending it off to some guy you don't know for him to mod it?
Well, I know a lot of this stuff's pretty user friendly, so you could probably do it yourself. But it raises my question is, why wouldn't you get like a Raspberry Pi or something for $5 and do this? Why would you want to spend, at this point, $150? I guarantee you the prices are jacked through the roof on eBay now since it's been rumored or since it's been announced that they're discontinuing. I guarantee you, I go on eBay right now, nothing under $300. But why would you want to spend all of this money to get a system that is in short supply anyways, and then chance screwing something up, and then you have a small like NES brick?
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, there's way easier ways to do emulators than do that, to put it on there.
Yeah, there's so many different things. I mean, just do it on your computer.
Yeah,
Just play it on your computer.
and
Play it
it's
on your cell
yeah,
phone. Why
yeah.
would you want to waste? Why would you want to waste? Potentially waste money, but then at the same time ruin a piece of history that is in short supply anyways. That somebody could really be enjoying, but yet you're just using it as a kind of a means of just screwing with it. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't do that myself. Like even if I had one, if I was a scalper or somebody that just liked modding and stuff like that, why would you go through the effort? I guess.
I don't know. I mean, some people like the process of doing it and making it work. Which I mean, I could see that. I can understand that, but I just wouldn't put it on something that's like so collectible and so sought after. And if you put all the effort to get it, then why risk it? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, NES Classic Edition. I'm sad that you're going away. I know we'll see in the future. I don't think you're done. I don't think that the classic line is going to be done by a long shot.
No,
But we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, there's going to be even more classic editions later on through the years because they see how successful it was. So
Yeah, I think we just got to wait and see. But I don't think we're done. But let's talk about something that was released this week. I think this is the third day. I want to say third day, maybe second day that this has happened. So uh, Microsoft was pretty smart in what they've done. So Infinite Warfare. Yeah, this has been a weird year for Call of Duty. Let's talk about this year of Call of Duty first before we get into the next topic. I'm sure everybody knows what it is by now, but let's talk about this real quick. Okay, so this is the first year that we've had like a split fan base, and it's split 3 different ways. Um, so you have people in the Infinite Warfare camp that really like the game, as small as it may be. They have that camp and they love the Infinite Warfare. They're playing it and they're loving it. Okay, so then we have the Modern Warfare Remastered camp. Everybody's playing that game. They're liking it. Okay, but then we have the massive fan base that's still playing Black Ops 3 as their main Call of Duty. So we've split it in three different camps this year, inadvertently, I think, or I don't know. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. But Nintendo, or not Nintendo, what am I talking about, Nintendo? But Microsoft released backwards compatibility for Black Ops 2. Okay, so that's a huge thing because Black Ops 2 is arguably, I think it is the peak of Call of Duty. I think it got as good as it could have gotten so far, anyways. Then and then from then on, it's just been going downhill. But they released it, and it has like 100,000 players online on Xbox right now, which is more than Infinite Warfare has online.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Call of Duty really fucked up. I mean, if I'm being honest. I mean, everybody that knows me knows I'm not a huge fan of Call of Duty, and so maybe I can be a little harsh on them at times. But I mean, yeah, everybody knows the story about what happened with this game release. But I think they fucked up. I hated the idea that they had to push sales of a new game. They had to bundle it with uh, Modern Warfare Remastered. I fucking hated it. I didn't buy the game because of it. Because I would like to have Modern Warfare Remastered, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the new shitty ass game.
Right.
I've not bought it. I haven't played it. I don't give a shit to play it. I don't want to. Um, and it's just like, what do they expect? What I mean, to do that, what do they expect? They knew they were going to split. The fan base was going to split.
Yeah.
They knew there was going to. I mean, yeah, people were talking about them, but it's not in the positive light.
Right.
So I mean, of course, people are going back to a game. Black Ops 2 was good. I mean, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, but I mean, it was one that was definitely playable and definitely you could have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just feel like seeing what Infinite Warfare has to offer. I'm not interested. Modern Warfare Remastered, I am interested, but they still have it to where you have to buy both to get it, don't they?
Yeah, they're not going to change that
Yeah,
until the new one comes out.
yes. So fuck that. So of course you're gonna play Black Ops 2.
Here's a theory that I had, and I've been thinking about this for a while. I think that we only got Modern Warfare Remastered because I think that they were in the process of developing Infinite Warfare. They were knees deep in it. They couldn't turn back at this point.
Didn't realize it
So
sucked.
then they're like, oh man, like there's this giant outcry of fans that don't want this game. Shit, what are we gonna do? So then they're like, oh okay, I got an idea. Let's remaster COD 4 because everybody loves COD 4. Let's remaster it, right? So then we'll bundle it. So then they'll buy it. They'll buy the Legacy Pro Edition or whatever it's called because that's also in turn getting them to buy our new game that we know they don't want.
Don't you even have to have it installed to play?
Yeah, you have to
That's so
install it.
shitty, dude.
And it's like the whole game by itself is like a 90 gig install base without updates on the Xbox One, which is fucking crazy. And you know what sucks ass about it? And I don't think it's just me, because it's happened. I've been uninstalled and reinstalled like 3 times so far. I think the whole game. So Infinite Warfare installs like fucking fast, like super fast, right? But Modern Warfare Remastered takes like 2 hours to install for me. I don't think it's just me. I want to say that they made like
They want you to play Infinite Warfare.
yeah, they want you to play Infinite Warfare. While Modern Warfare Remastered's installing, hopefully you'll get addicted to it or whatever. But I mean, I didn't think Infinite Warfare was horrible, but it's just the same shit. It's the same garbage over and over and over again, and I'm just tired of seeing it. I don't want to play it anymore.
So did you think? All right, what do you think that was going through their mind? Because I see it as panic. Like they're fucking panicking. They know the game's gonna suck. So like they had to throw Modern Warfare Remastered with it.
Right.
Because why else would you do it? Because you know it's going to be overall bad for you, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was in a panic. They were like, okay, let's put this game with this game, make them have this game to play it. So I think that's why they did that. Because I mean, otherwise, because there's no way they thought, oh, this would just be a nice bonus.
No, hell no. That's not why they did it.
No,
they did it because they were too far in the development process to turn back and change their idea on what this Call of Duty was going to be. They saw thing from Black Ops 3 and they said, okay, well, we can probably make something similar to that and pass it off. Because everybody knows Call of Duty's been a cash-in for the last, I don't know, I want to say since probably Advanced Warfare. They've been cashing in on these games, and they've not been really innovating much. It's been copy and paste since Advanced Warfare, I think, anyways. But yeah, they were like, okay, if we released Infinite Warfare by itself, would people buy it right now? And yeah, the people that want to like be the next MLG Pro phase player, yeah, they're gonna buy it. But would the common guy that just wants an FPS game to screw around with, are they gonna buy it? Hell no. That's not gonna be a thing. So they were thinking, how can we get this game into people's homes, that would not usually buy it? And they were thinking, oh, we have COD 4, let's remaster that, and then we'll bundle it together to force people to buy Infinite Warfare. There's no doubt about it. That's what's happened. There's no way you can tell me that Infinity Ward was just like in Activision. We're just like, oh yeah, we'll give it to them as a little nice bonus because we're nice guys. No, hell no. That's not how it is. So with when this Call of Duty World War II comes out, we'll probably get we'll get that package split down the middle where you can just get Modern Warfare Remastered. I guarantee it. Um, they made missteps with that game, and I'm not a fan that they had to put supply drops and shit in it and gun skins and all this crap. And they did it because it's expected. It's a way to make money after release. They're charging for DLC that was free in COD 4, the original one. Like there's map packs like broadcasts and stuff like that. The maps that I remembered the most, they're locked beside paid DLC, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the fact that Black Ops 2 has this many players, and there was an outcry for this game to be backwards compatible because so many people still play Black Ops 2 as their main game because it was that solid. It was I'll go back to it and I'll harp on it forever, saying that Black Ops 2 was the pinnacle of Call of Duty, and I don't think unless this World War II game changes my opinion, I think it's probably the best overall Call of Duty. So we'll see. I mean, 100,000 players is nothing to screw around with. That's numbers like you would you know go back and make more DLC for it at that point. For 100,000 people concurrent at one time playing.
For the game to be that old, it's really impressive to have that many players wanting to play it.
Yeah. So what's your favorite game of all time, dude?
Like in general?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. That's fucking hard.
All right, so let's narrow it down. What's your favorite FPS game of all time?
Well, it had to be It had to be a Halo.
Okay. And I'm gonna say it's between three Halos: Halo 2, 3, and Reach. I would say.
Yeah. It's between those. Just because I spent the most time on it, I'd say Halo 3. If I'm being completely honest with myself, it's been hard between Halo 2 and Halo 3, but we spent the most time on Halo 3. Had most memories in Halo 3, so I'd probably say Halo 3.
Yeah. I would say Halo 3. It's between. I loved Halo 2. Don't get me wrong. I fucking loved that game.
Well, that's where I first started playing Halo.
Yeah, that got me into first person shooter games. That was the one that popped the cherry, I guess.
Yeah, popped the cherry. Yeah. But yeah, Halo 2 was fucking phenomenal back then.
Yeah, I mean that's a game that I had 10,000 online matches played.
Yeah, but we started playing Halo 3 together from the start and played it fucking pretty much every day until we couldn't anymore. So I think if I had to pick one, it'd be Halo 3.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Reach is so close though. I started out hating Reach. I don't know why, because it was so different. That's the problem. But it was so different that it made me love it.
Right. I mean, it was just. I mean, you could tell at its core it was still Halo, but it was just different. They added stuff. See, and that's a testament for games saying that you can add things and still be a good game. Like most people hate it instantly. They're like, "Oh, it's so fucking different. They changed so much."
Yeah.
But they got that one right to where you maybe it was like, "What the fuck is this?" at first, but then you liked it later on because it's still a good game.
Yeah, where the fuck's our Reach remastered, anyways?
Yeah, dude, I would love to have a Reach remastered.
I'm still pulling for that one. They made it backwards compatible, but you can't fucking play it. It's so shitty. Like the frame rate's garbage.
Can you play online?
Yeah, you can still play online. I have 2 copies of it. I bought one for you to fucking play, but you would never take it.
Oh, I'll take it. We'll try it.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are
Maybe
actually playing it.
I mean, there's probably like a few thousand, but Halo 3, man. Well, guess what? The AMD. The processor manufacturer, they had a Korean event. They were revealing I think it was called the R5 from AMD, and they were flashing some screen caps across on their screen there, and there was a little image that looked a lot like Halo 3's Master Chief on there. And it had the blue, like that weird hue of blue and the orange color. When you see Halo 3's case, how they have the orange and blue in the background with the Master Chief with the yellowed what's it called, visor? Yeah. you know, the iconic image, and it's got everybody wondering, does this mean that we're going to get Halo 3 remastered this year? Um, and I anticipate it to be probably announced at E3.
Yeah, I mean that would be fucking great. To be honest,
I
I'd
think
get it
because
for
they
sure.
had Halo 3 kind of in the Master Chief Collection. It wasn't the remastered version though. It was just up. It was just the up frame rated version from the 360. But if they made remastered, man, could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine? I'd lose my life again.
I fucking would love that. I miss days where I can like. I mean, I don't know. We've harped on it before. The newer Halo games aren't the same, right? Don't have the same feel. I mean, they're still Halo, but not really. But for a Halo game to be back in like the limelight again, to where people are playing it, where you can sit down and play with the people, I'd love to lose my life to.
Yeah, it's the FPS that tickles all of the good spots in your body, man. We've missed those for a long time. I think Halo Reach was probably the last time that I fully 100% enjoyed an FPS game, especially a Halo game, because I kind of initially I liked Halo 5, and I had a lot of fun with it, but um, after a while, I kind of realized that it's just a bunch of try hard snipers and shit with their damn Spartan charges and
Well, I mean, it's fine. It's fun to play, and we played it for a long time. But it's just, I don't know. They made some missteps with Halo 5. Like the maps are way too fucking similar. They didn't put any effort in that shit. Like they all look the same. The Spartan charges are fucking annoying as fuck. But I mean, yeah, they just made little things to make it annoying enough to where I don't play it as much anymore.
right.
But yeah, Halo. If they were to release a Halo 3 remastered, I'd fucking play it every day.
I mean, they made Halo 2 Anniversary, and damn,
Yeah,
I
we
can say
still we still play that.
that's a
Yeah,
fucking solid game. And if Halo 3 remastered's anything like it, then holy shit, you know. A game that I can arguably say is my favorite Halo game. And it's such a close match between Halo 3 and Halo Reach for my favorite Halo games. Um, but to have another version of that would be fucking intense. And I wanted to talk about something that I saw. It was a YouTube video that showed up in my recommended feed for some reason. It was like an indie developer that's endorsed by Microsoft is making like a spiritual online game of Halo. They're like using the assets of Halo, like, you know, you still have the same gun skins and stuff, but it's an online only multiplayer game. And they showed it on Relic. You remember Relic from Halo 2?
yeah.
They showed it on there, and the map's almost the same, but they changed it a little bit. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like it's Halo, okay, but they made the Spartans a little taller, so they look different. The guns are just a tiny bit different. Everything looks really laggy because I mean it's like an alpha build of the game that they were showing off. But I was like, this is they're walking a super fine line between copyright infringement. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but then somebody in the comments section said that it was that it was endorsed by Microsoft, and I didn't look that far into it. But if it is, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why wouldn't they be like 343? Make this fucking game because you have to. We own you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not happy with the guys at 243.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But I mean, not that 343's done a terrible job. I mean, well, I don't know. Halo 4 was a little rocky there.
They picked it up, and I mean they tried. They tried to do their best. I didn't like Halo 4's campaign towards the end. The first 2/3 of it was really good, but then it's like the last end of the game just dropped the ball so much. Like there wasn't even an end boss battle really. You remember playing that shit?
Yeah.
And we were on the bridge, and you would think you'd be killing the guy, but no, you just throw a grenade, then you fall off the side, and you grab on.
Yeah, it was just a cutscene.
Yeah, it was just a damn cutscene for the final battle. I was like, what the fuck is
that
this?
was really fucking. I feel like they were just like shooing it in at that point. They're like, yeah, whatever, just do it.
And then we had the damn. You remember that bug where we couldn't get out of that damn building?
Yeah.
We were playing co-op, and it was
Christ.
a bug that like only in the co-op version of the campaign you couldn't get out of that thing. We tried for like an hour running around.
So we had to like skip that mission. We had to go load in the next one.
Yeah, we had to end up waiting like 2 weeks to play the rest of the game because we couldn't play that fucking mission. But yeah, I think 343 has done overall a pretty good job with the series. I would have liked to seen Bungie keep going with it, but at the same time, after so long, you kind of get fatigued with the franchise, and you think there's nothing really else that you can add, so you need a fresh set of bodies working on it. So I think 343 kind of did, as best as they could with what they were given. Halo 5 was like their baby.
Yeah.
And I think they did a pretty good job. And I mean, they made a totally playable game. They just made a game that felt kind of generic to me. There wasn't really anything that they innovated on. It's we've been in this struggle for like the last 2 or 3 years where Call of Duty's trying to be Halo and Halo's trying to be Call of Duty. So we have this weird mashup of games that they're totally playable games, but there's nothing there that to really hold you into the game. So that's what we've kind of been screwing with for the last I don't know, I would say probably since Advanced Warfare. So
Yeah.
from Halo 4 and Advanced Warfare on, basically on both franchises.
Yeah. I think both would do well. Just going back to what the basics of their game title was.
Right, and I think Call of Duty's realizing that.
Yeah, because
But
they're going back. I mean, and
well,
I hope
Halo
they
is.
do a good job with it. By the way, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Call of Duty fan, but I hope they do well with this next game. I hope they realize that they need to change some shit up.
Yeah, if they did, if they deliver on this World War II thing, and I hope they don't do like, oh yeah, it's World War II in a different dimension. We got jetpacks and fucking future laser
Yeah,
guns.
yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing. That sounds like something they would fucking do.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that we're gonna be lucky in that respect because this is Sledgehammer's second game, and they kind of were responsible for what's happened to Call of Duty because they were the first one to put the thruster packs in, and the first one to put these damn wood step laser guns in, or whatever they're called. And I think they have to realize that okay, we just started. If we fuck ourselves in the early run, they're gonna kick us back out. Like, because they worked on Modern Warfare 3 for the most part. I think they pretty much finished that game. Sledgehammer did. It wasn't bad, but then Advanced Warfare comes along. Everyone's like, okay, Advanced Warfare, it's different. We like it. We're gonna like it enough. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. So I think Sledgehammer realizes now that they have to reevaluate, make what the fans want to see, because in the end, if the majority of the fans don't like what you're putting out, then you're gonna die. Your franchise is gonna die. And do I think Call of Duty will ever die? No, I don't think Call of Duty will ever die because we have three major FPS guys in the game, in Battlefield, Halo, and Call of Duty. So, but I think for them to withstand another year of outselling Battlefield, they're going to need to start listening to what people want.
Yeah, because I mean, the Battlefield games are getting better, in my opinion. I never really paid attention to Battlefield until this latest one, and it looks like a lot of fun, and they're getting a lot of things right. And Call of Duty, I don't know. If I feel like what do you expect Call of Duty and Halo to do? Because I feel like you have to progress as a series. You know what I mean?
Right.
And and because these are the only like them and Battlefield, but mainly just Halo and Call of Duty. They're the main ones, right? So we're stuck paying attention to them the whole time. But what are they supposed to do other than progress? I mean, Call of Duty is trying to go backwards, right?
Yeah.
But how backwards are they going to go? Because they're still going to use their new techniques they developed on making these games. So how back is it going to go? Is it going to go back to the old Call of Duty games that were actually reasonably fun, like the Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that would be great if it had that kind of feel to it. But I mean, there's just an argument there where, yeah, but is that just an older game feel? Is that not how games should feel now?
Yeah, it sucks because we're in this stage where we can't. Seemingly everything's been done in video games at this point. There are games that innovate and do different things, and they change the game, but they're really few and far between. So it begs the question that we are almost to a point where we can't have a new Call of Duty every year. We can't have a new Halo every other year. Because I think we're going the way of the fact that um, we need to step it back. We need one game to last for a while. We need a Halo game. Unfortunately, it has to last for 3 years, life cycle. We need a Call of Duty every other year, maybe every 2 years. Because you're just getting to the point where it's just copy and paste, and people are going to catch on to that.
I think also because they keep doing the same thing over and over again, people are getting both fed up with Call of Duty and with Halo. I think that's why you see such a growth in people paying attention to Battlefield for one, but also I think that's one reason. I mean, one of the many reasons why Overwatch did so well. It's because they were sick of the typical thing, you know.
Yep.
So I know a lot of first-person shooter players went to Overwatch to play that type of game, and
Yeah, that's true.
and they had a hell of a lot of fun with it. And I think honestly, it's because they needed something new. And I think Blizzard saw that and knew they were going to be able to push this type of game, and it was going to pull players from first-person shooter games.
Yeah.
Because I love Overwatch, and compared to playing the same old shooters over and over again, that's why I don't like. That's why I'm not really play Call of Duty at all anymore. Is because I feel like it's the same thing over and over again, same Call of Duty shit from over and over again, right? They just keep going in the future. Now Halo, I'll take a sacrifice of being a little bit of the same thing and just play it just because I love Halo. But I mean, besides that, Overwatch is is different enough to draw people in, and it's a good enough game to keep them interested and keep them playing it. So I mean, maybe we're going away from first-person shooters being in like the popularity, like major popularity game. But maybe it's time for another game franchise to step up and challenge for that. I mean, Battlefield's got a lot of people playing it, but it's more of like a war game. Like you're like actually in a battlefield. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if a game wanted to, and they were able to get the backing, and it was a good enough game. I mean, I think they could challenge Halo and Call of Duty just in the first-person shooter genre.
Yeah, I think it's going to get to the point. Um, yeah, I would argue that I don't even have to argue. I can guarantee you that there are more people playing Overwatch than are playing Call of Duty right now.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of years before that next killer thing comes along. Everybody thought it was going to be Crisis. Crisis is awesome. It wasn't able to take down Call of Duty though. It got really close, but we need that other game. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to have an emergence of a new FPS that's going to take over the market, or we're going to have Battlefield take over the first-person shooter market, Overwatch keep dominating the first-person shooter market, and Call of Duty and Halo, unfortunately, are going to fall to the wayside, and we're going to have Overwatch and Battlefield duking it out for the top spot, and Call of Duty is going to fade off. As much as I don't want to say it, dude, as far as popularity goes, Halo's at the bottom. It didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be that way. But now, I would argue to say it goes Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo.
I don't know. I don't know if Battlefield's above Halo. But I think it might feel like that because Halo only puts a game out every 3 years. I mean, there's a big number of people playing. I'd be interested to do some research and see how much is going on. But then you also got to think Battlefield. Just recently came out with a new game, so of course there's going to be more people playing than it is Halo. So I guess I can see how that would be true. But overall, I think Halo is a better franchise than Battlefield as of right now. But Battlefield's making big fucking leaps and bounds. They're getting more people buying their games, more people paying attention.
Yeah, I mean they're making quality stuff over and over. I mean, mine is Hardline. Nobody really liked Hardline because it was just weird. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Overwatch. I don't think we ever need an Overwatch 2, which is a thing. We don't need another Overwatch game. They can keep building on this game, and that's it.
I think that's what their plan is to do, and maybe that's the way games maybe that's the way of games these days should do.
But it stands to the test of time. That they can keep updating one game, and they don't have to release a new game every year to keep the interest there.
I think eventually they will make another Overwatch game, but it's going to be years. I think they'll keep adding to this current game because it's such a big hit and everybody loves it. And it's a good ass game. I mean, it blew me away when I played it. Let's put it that way. I had doubts, but I wanted to try something different. It blew me a fucking way. If we had people to play Overwatch with us, I'd be still playing Overwatch every day, to be honest. But I think there's enough. It's a good enough game, and they keep people interested, and there's enough buzz around it that they can just keep adding, updates. Like they're adding new characters, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? And it's going to be years before they need to make another one. And I'm sure they'll make another one like later on, just to max out like capabilities on consoles and the technology they have at their disposal.
Right.
But it'll probably be years because they can ride on this one for a long time.
Oh yeah, and it's good to too that we're not going to have new iteration of the consoles for another 4 years probably,
Yeah.
easily. So they can ride on it for as long as they possibly can. Plus they have it on PC, so it's a game that when it comes out concurrently on PC as well, I think that you don't really need another one. It's going to be hard to sell Overwatch 2 over Overwatch 1 since it's on PC that way.
You know something interesting about Overwatch? You remember when Overwatch was first coming out and it was rumored that they were going to have a cross-platform?
Yeah.
How far away do you think we are from that?
We're a long way from 100% cross-platform anyways. There are games that have been able to work it out, like Rocket League is cross-platform with PS4 and PC. There's a couple other games that are cross-platform. PS4 and PC do a lot of it. PC and Xbox do it, kind of a little bit of it, but on PS4 to Xbox One is like next to nothing. And the problem is, I think, is because that would make Microsoft and Sony have to work together.
Yeah, well,
and their pride and their egos are never going to let them do that.
But here's the thing: what if they made it like cross-platform, right?
Right.
But then that would make them focus on other things to improve. Because right now, they always do that. Console wars is a thing every fucking time. Every edition of this consoles come out, it's a console war, right?
Uh-huh.
But you also have people like they're banking on one area, like in one console, so all the rest of this guy's friends is going to buy the same console. Right. But if it was cross-platform, then they would have to focus on the other stuff, and people could make decisions based on their own.
Yeah, but at the same time, consoles is where the money is.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, like, even if it was just Xbox to PS4, they could cross-platform play. Okay,
right.
That would mean that they would have to make their console the best they possibly can, because they're not banking on a group of people buying the same console and play together.
Right.
So I think it would push them to make better consoles. But will they ever do that? No, because they don't. I mean, they probably will eventually, but anytime soon, no, because they don't need to. Why would they?
Yeah.
Unless they just decide to be nice, but why would they?
Yeah, I mean, there's money talks in big business, so that's just the way it is.
I mean, I think it would just cause. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, the PS4 is pretty good, like a pretty good overall console. And I think it would hurt if it was to happen now. It would definitely hurt Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Xbox One is the lowest selling console now. Xbox One was beating PS4 for a little while these past months, but then a Switch came out. The Switch is at the top, PS4 is at second, and Xbox is at the bottom.
Yeah, so PS4 worked out a lot of their kinks they had at the beginning, and now it's pretty solid.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man, I don't know. We'll just have to we'll have to wait and see with that.
Yeah, hopefully that'll happen one day.
Yeah,
but I remember people were hyped as fuck, thinking that you're gonna be able to play Overwatch on cross-platform.
Yeah, and it's been. I mean, it works out for be having the cross-platform on Rocket League because you never have to worry about finding a match. That's another thing that'd be good. Is games could be dying on one console but still have a pretty good fan base on the other, so you wouldn't have to worry about I don't know, let me think of something really obscure. So, okay, you got Battleborn on the Xbox One. Community's dead. PS4, it's booming like shit. Okay, you don't have to worry if I have Battleborn on the Xbox One. Can I play with somebody on the Xbox One? No, because there's nobody there. But you got that whole PS4 market. You can connect straight up to PS4 people, and you still have a growing community. So it would spell more positives for the game developers and the publishers than it would for the console developer and manufacturer. But it would definitely be something that would be popular with the game publishers and with the communities of the games that are being played.
So when it happens, this is how I think it's going to start happening. Okay, like Rocket League did. Rocket League talked to all of them and told them they want to be able to connect to PC. They want to be able to play people on PC. So they made it fucking happen because they realized how big Rocket League was getting, right?
Right.
So they didn't know Overwatch is going to be this big. But I guarantee you, if it was known back then that Overwatch is going to be this big, and they stuck to their guns and said, no, if you want it on your console, you're going to make it to cross-platform. That's how it's going to start.
Right.
The next big game coming out, and the game developer, third-party game developer is like, no, we want it to be cross-platform, or you're not going to get it on your console. That's when they'll sit down and have talks about it and be like, okay, well, maybe we can figure it out. And then that game's going to do it, and the next game's going to do it. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to happen eventually. But as far as like the two companies working together, that's not going to happen like just straight up them.
Right. Yeah, because then there'd be no need for two consoles. There'd be a need for one unified console at that point.
Yeah.
So one of them would have to go out of business, or they'd have to merge. Could you imagine the Sony and Microsoft merging together to make the ultimate PlayStation One, Xbox?
Well, I think it would make the console wars even bigger though, because they would have to focus on all the pieces of technology, making them better. They'd have to focus on making like a multimedia device type like point to it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to focus on other things to make it stand out than the other one.
Yeah.
For a person, which would be crazy, and ultimately it probably one of them would doom one of them.
Yeah. Well, I think at the same time, when you're talking about like focusing on other things other than gaming, they tried it. They tried it when they released the Xbox One. Everybody was like, a set-top box for my TV. Like, I don't want that bullshit. Get that fucking cable box garbage out of here.
Yeah,
I want the damn games. You know, I don't. If they're going to do something like that, then it needs to be something else. You know, it doesn't need to be a game console. It needs to be something else. You know, because when it comes down to it, people buy game consoles because they want to play games. They don't want to. They don't buy a game console just because they want to watch movies. They don't buy a game console just because they want to listen to music.
Well, I mean, a lot of people do it for both reasons.
I don't know. I don't know about it.
A lot of people do. That's
why
why
you can get that shit on the computer for nothing.
Yeah, but a lot of people like the idea of having it together. Like when I've talked to people, like I just talked to actually a guy at work who I was telling him he should buy an Xbox One so he could play with this, right? And he's like, "Oh, does it play Blu-rays?" I'm like, "Well, I'll have to see." And and it does play Blu-rays. But I remember when Xbox One was first coming out, it was rumored that they wasn't going to, and people got pissed off. And the whole cable box thing was fucking dumb because cable's still a thing. But people fucking don't have bad taste in their mouth about cable right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And eventually it's going to go away with these other things happening. But I mean, as far as like making like a user-friendly app for like YouTube or a user-friendly app for Netflix, they have to do that in this day and age because I mean, why not? So when somebody looks at a system, I mean, they're not going to make their decision upon that. You know what I mean? So if somebody's always been an Xbox guy, they're not going to be like, "Oh, PS4's got a nice streamlined Netflix app." They're not going to fucking do that. But they want a game system to be able to do it all.
Right. I don't know, man. The Switch has sold 2 million units, and it doesn't even have YouTube, Netflix, or Hulu.
Right. But it's promising that.
Yeah, but it's secondary.
It's always secondary because it's a gaming system, but they always need it. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how long it takes them to get it on the Switch. But I think we're probably a year away from it.
A lot of people are pissed off they don't have it right now.
But they still sold all their pre-orders in every system in the stores
because of Breath of the Wild.
I don't know.
Yeah, because of Breath of the Wild.
I'm just
exactly
saying.
Why.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. But let's lighten the old mood here. Let's talk about some little LD talk.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about this. Lil Dicky, we love Lil Dicky. You guys probably already know that. He finally released his video for Pillow Talking, which is fucking hilarious. It's a really good song. It's like a fucking 10-minute long song. So if you never listened to it before, you should probably listen to it and actually give it a listen. I know a lot of people say it's a 10-minute fucking song. I'm like, what the fuck? But he like tells a story pretty much. Talks about a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, like important issues and stuff just coming from his mind. But it's pretty good. And he's been saying he's gonna do a video for it for a long time, and he finally got it out. So you guys should definitely check that shit out. What do you think of it?
It was a lot of it was kind of, I think he could have done a lot more with it than he actually did. It was effective, and it was a pretty good video overall, but a lot of it was just them sitting in the bed, and I think they could have probably done something, a couple different scenes and stuff like that to kind of change the mood up, but at the same time, it's called Pillow Talking, so they have to be in the bed to make the song like relate back to the video. I thought it was a pretty good music video overall. It kind of weighs on you watching the same damn thing for 10 minutes, but at the same I think it would be different if I hadn't heard the song like 100 times at this point.
Yeah.
So if I was just somebody that had just got into Lil Dicky and I just watched the music video and I want to watch it again, I could probably do it no problem. But just the fact that I've heard the song so many times kind of makes me not want to watch the music video over and over again. But I thought it was really good. Hilarious when the brain comes out. Just because it was like so, everybody was wondering how they were going to do that part, and then it was like super cartoony and looked like a big stoner, but it was a good music video, I have to say. Lil Dicky's always made really good music videos, even when he wasn't, before he brought out professional rapper, he was making quality shit. Like Jewish Flow is a great music video.
Yeah.
A really good one.
Too High.
Yeah, the '90s was really good, and it was really plain and simple, but it was actually really good. Um, so I thought it was good. I think Lil Dicky's doing some damn good stuff, some really awesome um, progression made in rap music. I think he's changing the game. It sucks now that to get a concert ticket is like $80 to see him nowadays, and you're not gonna get to the front easy. It sucks, but we got to see him twice before he got super big.
Yeah, you got to meet him.
And we got to meet him the first concert we went to, and the second one we were pretty close to the stage anyways. But now he's playing damn stadiums and stuff. Like he's blown up. We're excited for him. Glad he got where we knew he could get to. It's crazy. It's crazy that he does the lighthearted kind of comedic rap, and he's gotten the level of respect that he's gotten because he's just that fucking good.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't familiar with Lil Dicky, basically he started out doing he wanted to do something comedic. He has what does he have, a degree in marketing? Is that what he tells people?
Mm-hmm.
And he worked for a famous marketing firm. He quit his job to become a rapper, but before that he decided to do comedy rap because not many people did it. And then he started figuring out he was actually really good at rapping. And now he's like, now of course he quit his job, and now he's a professional rapper, just like his album says, first album. But we followed his career this far. We always support him. But the video finally came out. The album's been out for a long time, and the video took a long time to make. But it's really good, really solid. The brain part's hilarious. Yeah, everybody was wondering how he was going to do that, and I think he pulled it off pretty good.
Yeah, if you're kind of skeptical, you don't believe that Lil Dicky, if you've never heard of him, you don't believe that he's as good as we're praising him to be, go check out the song called Jewish Flow.
Yeah.
That's probably his best song still to date.
There's a lot of good ones that we show off what he's capable of doing. Check out Russell Westbrook on a Farm. I know that sounds dumb, but check it out. It kind of makes the whole song's an analogy about him rapping. But his fucking delivery, his lyricism is fucking phenomenal. Check out the Tim Westwood freestyle.
Yeah, Tim Westwood freestyle is the best freestyle, and it really shows off what he's able to do. But yeah, man, Lil Dicky, if you're listening, hit us up.
Yeah, we still listen. We still listen for you.
We're still listening, dude. Bumping in the wild and wonderful hills, as Evan said.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's talk channel. Let's talk YouTube channel. So how did you like the videos this week?
I mean, I thought they were pretty good. Hit the 50 subscriber mark, right?
Yeah, and we're almost we're halfway to 60.
So that's good.
Crazy as hell.
We're just now finally starting to tell people publicly around us about the channel. So it's good to see people actually subscribing when you tell them about it.
Right.
We're kind of like, I was kind of nervous about asking people to check it out because I know how annoying that shit is, especially coming from us doing music. I know that's annoying as fuck to do that because I don't want to come off as somebody like begging, like, hey man, check it out, come on, man.
Yeah.
But most of the people that I've told about have checked it out and subscribed, so that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for that. If you guys are listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still trying to figure out ways to get our channel on people's eyes. I think it's just a matter of getting people to check it out the first time, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to sound cocky or nothing, but we don't make anything bad. I mean, there's stuff that's better than some stuff, but we don't make anything bad.
Yeah.
And if you're into comedy and gaming, you want to laugh and you want to watch somebody play a video game, I think we just got to get on people's eyes and they will subscribe. So
yeah. Word of mouth is a big one. That's the biggest growth tool, is you guys telling people about the channel. We don't want to say that things lie on your shoulders because most of it lies on our shoulders, but you guys can definitely help us out a lot just by telling somebody at your work or telling one of your buddies to check us out, because it spreads like wildfire at that point.
Yeah, we got a couple different ideas of growing the channel. We're still pushing for collaboration, still talking to people. The collaboration we mentioned last week's going to happen. We still don't want to release a name yet, but we are working on that. That's in the works.
Yeah,
we're still talking to many other YouTubers, trying to work things out when times would be good to collaborate. So we're still working on that end of things. Another thing is, I just want to thank you guys for the amount of views we get on videos on daily. It seems like a lot of, I mean, it's probably because our subscriber number is so small right now, but like almost all you guys are watching a video every day.
Right.
So I mean, that's fucking huge, because I mean, usually what they say, like 10% of your subscribers are watching the end of the day. And I mean, 10% of our fucking subscribers watch what we had, like 5 views or something.
Yeah, we're averaging like 90%
which
at
is
this point.
yeah, which is fucking phenomenal. We love you guys for it. It keeps us motivated to keep doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, we would do it regardless, but to see people watching regularly just keeps us motivated to keep going.
Yeah, so keep rocking it, guys. That's all I have to say about that subject. But we are trying some different things, some different ideas for different things coming up on the channel, because I don't want, I wanted to do different stuff, like reviews and things like that, on my personal YouTube channel. But I think it's stuff like if we're just playing something, we finished it up, we want to do a review on it. I think that it'd probably be pretty cool. You guys probably want to see like a comedic review, something like that.
Yeah, we could try that. Yeah.
And then, like we need to do. We decided we need to do a few more in real life videos, kind of with us on the camera. That way, you guys can relate to us a little bit. You see us because I want to do with Juicebox battles. We need to do some loser repercussions, some punishments, as you will, and we're gonna be putting those at the end of the videos, and they ought to be freaking good because I've been thinking of some doozies, dude.
Yeah, I've been thinking of some good ones too. So we're gonna see how that goes. We got a lot of different ideas. We're gonna start going out into like networking with people. Like we're planning on going to this tournament at our local game store. Well, I guess it's a neighboring town is the local game store, but the closest one to us, they're having a cool little tournament, little get together of Super Smash.
Yeah, Smash Bros.
So anybody that's going to plan on being there, that's listening to this, we'll be there.
Get ready to get your ass whooped by somebody that doesn't play Smash Bros.
We've never played the Smash Brothers because I believe it's the one on the Wii U, and I've never played that in my life. So
yeah, so I mean the channel's got a lot of hype, from us anyways. A lot of good ideas fueling out of our brains. And we're hopefully going to be able to channel that into positivity for the channel. But we're definitely glad that you guys are enjoying the stuff, seemingly enjoying the stuff, and giving us this support every single day. It keeps us going, and it's been a cool ride. You get those times like day before yesterday. I put out the Big Mother Truckers video. Man, like 4 hours later, it's got 2 views. I'm like, oh God, what's going on? People don't give a shit anymore. And then I wake up the next morning and it bounced back. So you gotta kind of just sit back and I guess just wait and see what happens with most of it. But you guys are rocking it. You guys are rocking it for us, and we're gonna keep working hard. And podcast is going good now that we're on that kind of topic of channel. We're gonna hit double digits pretty soon, which is insane. The cool thing about the podcast is the number of the podcast is a good way to keep track of how long we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be our 8th podcast. So we've been doing this for a total of 2 months now.
Yeah.
And I think the growth has been good. The support's been awesome. But the podcast is cool. I like the structure better than the first 2. I like the first 2 podcasts. They were good. But we had a lot we could talk about then. And I think if we kept going the way that we did, without a structure, without topics and stuff, we would have been freaking. We'd been like, yeah, you remember 3 years ago when we were at McDonald's, bro, I had that Big Mac, and it was like, oh my God, it's so horrible. We've been talking shit like that. So other than that, I mean, it's going good. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it. I guess that's all we got for you guys. If you enjoyed the podcast, if you enjoyed the videos that we make, don't forget to let us know in the comment section below. Also, drop a like on the video and share it out with your friends. And you can also check us out on SoundCloud, Juicebox Heroes SoundCloud. We'll be putting the podcast up on there just to get that kind of audio out to you guys. It's easier to watch or listen to a podcast on SoundCloud than it is on YouTube for the most part, because you can actually have that running in the background without paying $5 a month. Or $10 a month, however much it is. $10 a month, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna jet the fuck out of here for now. For Juicebox Heroes, I'm Cody.
I'm Parker.
And who are we? The Juicebox Heroes?
We are in fact Juicebox Heroes.
All right, but yeah, guys, we're gonna catch you motherfuckers in the next video.
What's your mother?
Bitches.
Cause we're the Juicebox Heroes with stars in our eyes.
Wait, what?
Juicebox Heroes.